Good question. So when's the best time to buy these ETFs? For me, I think it's always the ex-dividend date, or if there's like a huge drop and you really believe in the fund. So tomorrow is the ex-dividend date. What's happening, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Mike. Thanks for joining me today on a very exciting day. That was the longest 6 weeks of my life. I thought that I would be okay with it, but man, every single day, looking at that ETF saying, when are you going to pay? How much are you going to pay? And the day is finally here. I'm talking today about Group D and all of their dividend payouts, as well as the main character in Group D, in my opinion, which is MSTY, and its huge distribution announcement today. So join me. Let's talk about all of these. First of all, thank you again for joining. Yesterday was a huge day for the channel. Huge growth opportunity yesterday, and I hope today is the same. So if you could hit that like button and subscribe for me, and we'll try and get to my goal here of 2,000 subscribers by December the 24th or 25th of this year, 2024. So huge day today. If you're not currently signed up for the YieldMax distribution email, definitely go to their website, click around so you can get that. I got mine this morning at about 6:55 a.m. I was already an hour into my gym session at that point. But oh my goodness, I was very excited to see what I saw. So what I'm going to do in this video is go through each of the funds that have come out with distributions and or was announced that distributions will happen. Also put the date of when the ex-dividend date is on the screen right now. Just so you know, today's the declaration day. Tomorrow's the X date, which means if you purchase your shares tomorrow, you won't be included in getting any of the distribution from this month. But also you would be getting your shares potentially at a discount because the share price should drop the amount of the distribution on the X date. So depending on the market up and down, you may get a discount on those shares. So the X date's tomorrow, Thursday, October 24th, and then the payout date is October 25th, which is Friday. Most brokerages will pay on Friday. Some of the brokerages out there hold your funds until the weekend. I know with Questrade up here in Canada, I'll get my money on Monday. So I want to talk to you about the plan, what I plan on doing with my MSTY shares, with the dividend that I'm receiving. I also want to go over each of the funds with you here and what they're paying out, as well as how their performance has been over the last month. If you'd like, I'm going to create chapters down below, so you can click on the chapters to go from fund to fund, which one you find the most interesting to you. But let's get right into it. Taking a screenshot here from YieldMax's email that they provided. Anybody who's on that distribution list, if you're not on there, by the way, go ahead and click on YieldMax's website and have them email you the distribution. I got mine around 6:55 this morning while I was about an hour into the gym. So yeah, here we go. First one, YMAX, 22-cent payout. Now this is a weekly payer. 22 cents is pretty good if we take a look at their last 4 payments here. Definitely the most lucrative. It's tied with 5 weeks ago back in September the 25th. So doing well, definitely holding up, that's for sure. You can see all of the weekly payers here. It just switched to weekly in September, so it's about 5-6 weeks into paying out weekly. I think shareholders of YMAX are pretty happy so far. Let's take a look at the fund itself over the last 1 month here. Just down 2.82%, $17. We take a look at the last 5 days, kind of down 1.6 and down 25 cents today. Today's a bit of a down day on the market, which kind of makes sense. So there we go. There's the 1 year. Came out here in January at 1990. So since the inception, it's down 13%. But again, it has paid out pretty good dividends here ever since its inception. So seems to be fairly stable. And I think people really want that stability when it comes to these funds. Next one we're going to take a look at is YMAG. Now, this one I've seen on Twitter. People are not happy with the 5-cent distribution, and I don't blame them at all. Again, this is the other weekly dividend provider from YieldMax, and so 5 cents. Why even be invested in a 5-cent fund? But I think some things were happening this month, and it was to be expected to be lower. So that kind of translates to that. But I mean, you take a look at all the distributions here over the last 4 weeks. Lower than YMAX, that's for sure. And this is YMAG again. So 28, 16, 17, and 19 cents. So yeah, I wouldn't be happy with 5 cents. That's not going to do anything for me. Keep it rolling here. Let's take a look at YMAG itself over the last month. Just down 4% over the last month here. If you take a look at today, down 1.9%. Again, market today at the start of the day here has been going down, but I'm just on break right now. It's 250, and yeah, a little bit of an upswing there on the last little bit on YMAG. Here comes the big one, right? This is the one that I think almost all of us are here for. So let's go get into that. Talking about MSTY here. From MSTY is a fund that follows MicroStrategy. MicroStrategy has a 1% stake in Bitcoin. Bitcoin had some incredible volatility this past month. I got a couple things with MSTY here that I think you might enjoy. So first of all, let's go take a look at the distribution. Yesterday at 6 o'clock, I said I think it's going to be $3.19, and it was a total guess. And I'd like to say that I got 2 out of the 3 numbers correct. Thank you very much. You're welcome. But hey, guys, look at this. $4.19. I think every single person here is excited and happy about that. That is a huge number. Congratulations to MSTY shareholders. I just got a comment on my last video, which I'll link at the end of this video, by the way. The person purchased all his shares at $21. He's up 45% on his stake so far. And plus, he gets this huge dividend. He's very, very excited. I don't blame him at all. $4.19. Heck yeah. Now, this was for 6 weeks of action over at YieldMax. So we were hoping for anything over 3. We, as in me, was hoping for anything over 3. So $4.19. I'm pretty happy for sure. You can see the last 6 distributions here. I think it's averaging about $3 if you sum all of those up together. Paid over $15 in distributions in the 6 months, and now with $4, we're at $20, just over $20 in distributions. Pretty darn good considering this stock came out in February at $21.19. So we are so close to being completely even with the distributions. That is absolutely incredible, the amount that this fund has paid out so far. And, you know, I'm going to say we've got lucky with the price of Bitcoin and MicroStrategy. That's for sure. The share price itself is up 43%, which is huge. That's not a very common thing over at YieldMax. So that's definitely pretty darn impressive. Took a look at Twitter here. Here's somebody, Crypto Boy K. MSTY follows Mr. and you get a boom. They pay monthly dividends. Yeah, for sure. I don't know if I trust this chart, but something I saw on there I thought was interesting. It talks about how Mr. is following Bitcoin price here. So if Bitcoin price went to 75,000, the NAV multiplier 3.24 takes the final Mr. stock price to $306. Who knows if this is legit or not, but I thought it was kind of interesting. And, you know, imagine, right? So 75,000 is not too far out for Bitcoin. If we take a look today, it's at 66,443. This changes by the second here. You know, on Sunday night, it was at 69,000 twice within a 10-minute period. So, you know, it has its ups and downs for sure. If you take a look at the last 5 months here, down 2%. If you take a look at the last, 5 days, not 5 months, 5 days, 1 month here, up 3.26%. And yeah, you can see up and down, up and down. Wouldn't it have been nice to be in Bitcoin a year ago? You'd be up 100% today. Absolutely. So right here, $1.85 was last month. This month, $4.19. Let me know if you're pretty happy about that. I'm very excited about that. I'm going to talk about what I'm going to do with my money that I'm going to get at the end of this video. So stay tuned for that. I've got a plan and I'm going to stick to it, Stan. So yeah, good job, MSTY. Good job, MSTY shareholders. Good job, MSTY fund managers. I think all of us are pretty happy with that for sure. So let me get rid of the MSTY stuff up here. And then let's go on to the next one. So the next one that we're going to talk about is YQQQ. Now, this is a brand new fund over at YieldMax. So paying out 35 cents. This is one of those inverse funds that are following the QQQ. It has paid out a dividend before, back in September here, 42 cents. So again, this month was 35 cents, so a little bit lower. Let's take a look at YQQQ. $18.84. So up 9 cents since it came out. That's pretty well. Hold on, that might not be true. Not true. Came out August 15th, $19.64. So down 4.23%. But now with the newest payout here, we're looking at, what was it again? 35 cents. So, you know, good stuff. For me, I'm not an inverse kind of guy. I like to buy YieldMax funds that are following proven winning stocks. So MSTY doing very well with Mr. NVIDIA, doing very well with NVIDIA. Those are my two. I just added a share. It's nothing really of Coney, which is following Coinbase, which I think is doing well as well. So those are the 2.5 that I'm in so far. Should I even call it a half? My 2 shares of Coney. I'm a huge stakeholder. All right. Let's take a look at the next one. The next one's going to be AMZY. 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 However you guys want to say it today. Oh, that's fun. So AMZY, 76 cents today. Not too shabby at all. If I'm a AMZY holder, I'd be pretty happy with that. Take a look at their last distributions. That's going to be one of the highest ones in the last little bit here. AMZY doesn't pay out a ton of money, but it's generally pretty stable. The fund itself is pretty stable. Amazon, you know, a stable fund. Another one kind of like NVIDIA and MicroStrategies, maybe not as flashy as those two, but pretty steady Eddie. It's coming up on the Amazon season here where deliveries are going to go out like crazy. I bought a new coffee machine. By the way, the link for that coffee machine is in my description here. If you're looking to get a new one, I got a new, it's just super simple. It's affordable. It's cheap. And it got delivered in one day. Amazon is maybe the greatest thing that's happened in the world. That's a big statement. It's a big statement. Let's take a look at AMZY itself. Like I said, pretty stable here, 1921. It's been out for over a year, but you can see most of these funds, the older funds started at around the $20 mark. So yeah, this guy started July 28th at $20.46. So since then, down 5.82%, but it has definitely paid out more than that in distribution so far. So steady Eddie, you know, just paying out those distributions every month. You know, 76 cents, nothing to cry home about. It's a definite excellent paying ETF for sure. It's on my list. It's on my radar. I love that the share price itself doesn't change very much. I think that's a pretty important factor. And then I also love that you know, it still pays out a distribution every month. And you know, I almost said every month it's over 50 cents, but there's that 1 month of 47. The rest of them, you know, they're up there over 65, 76, 95, 97, 69, 64, 68. So, yeah, potentially that could be on the radar for sure. Let's keep it rolling. Let's go to the next one that is also equally just kind of flat. It doesn't really do too much. It's not too flashy, but we got APLY right here. following Apple itself. Apple just today said they're going to lower the production of one of their products. I guess it is not a high flying selling product, so they're lowering the production of it. But Apple coming up here, you know, can you ever fail with investing in Apple? I'm not too sure if you can. But it also kind of is pretty steady. It doesn't move very much. It just kind of slightly progresses up, and then all of a sudden it's way up there, you know, a year later. So look at those distributions hovering around that 40-cent mark: 45, 34, 32, 40, 33, 38, 41, 17. That one was pretty gross, but this month here, 34 cents. You know, I'm probably not going to invest in APLY. It's not going to pay my bills. I live in Canada. I got to pay tax on this bad boy, and it's not going, unless I had, you know, 5,000 shares of this. That's the only way I would get to my pillar of success. So again, I'm trying to get to 6 pillars paying me $500 a month. And at that point, then potentially go invest into more stable funds, or maybe do something more fun like options. So options aren't off the table for the near future either. So that's APLY. Apple, great company, obviously a great company. So APLY, let's take a look at APLY on the charts here. Let's go to the 1 month, up 20 cents, so $17.90. So like I said, super stable, which is nice because there's some funds here at YieldMax that are getting ready for winter out there, and they're just straight downhill on the ski slope, right? So APLY itself here in the last year just down 3%, but I'm sure it's paid out more than 3% in distributions so far. So if you're an APLY holder, I'm sure you're pretty happy about that. 95.16 million in net assets, not even close to the biggest fund here at YieldMax, but that's nothing to shake your head at, that's for sure. Speaking of shaking your head, let's talk about AIYY. AIYY. Let's take a look at its distribution here today. So this is a fund that follows AI. So huge distribution for this month, 72 cents. Cents. As soon as I said cents, things didn't really make sense to me because I took a look at the price of AIYY. Personally, I would not be an investor in this one, and let me tell you the reason why. So huge distribution, actually doubling the last 2 months here. AIYY, been paying since January. Let's go take a look at the price of the ETF here. So trading at $9.04. This is a sure candidate for something that could be getting close to reverse split territory. For me, it's a no-go. Anything that is not stable, I'm not interested in. I mean, if you look at the last 6 months, down 24%. If you look at the last year here, down 54%. Yeah, this thing came out December 1st of last year. So in less than a year, it's dropped 56% value. Now, I know you guys, we're talking about income here. And so it's paid out a monthly distribution, but that does not look like it has met the amount that has dropped as well, right? And so I love a good distribution, just like you. But if my share price can't at least stay the same or get a little bit better, I'm not really interested in it. I am definitely not interested in reverse splits. It's not something that excites me in life. There's plenty of opportunity out there to make money. And for this one, it's a no-go for me. And now, just so we know, I think you know, I'm not a financial advisor. Don't take advice from people on YouTube. If you're investing in this and you like those monthly distributions, you do you. Okay? Don't worry about what other people say about how you spend your money. That's for sure. All right, let's go take a look at the next one. We're going to look at DISO here. DISO's payments over the last few months here hovering around that 45-cent mark average. So 46, 39, 36, 44, 70, 67 cents. Take a look at DISO this month. We're looking at 51 cents this month. Not bad compared to the other months there. 51 cents. Yeah, it's definitely better than the last 5 months, right? So here we go, 16.35, the price of the ETF right now. Over the last month here, up 55 cents, which is nice. Last 6 months here, looks like it came out in April 2023. Oh, no, that's a lie. I haven't been following DISO at all, to be honest with you, but down 19% since October of last year. But I mean, let's take a look at those distributions again. Steadily paying every single month, anywhere from 30 to 70 cents, 77 cents there I see. Yeah, 77 cents was the highest distribution so far. And then again, this month was 51 cents. If you're a DISO subscriber, are you happy with that? That's the question. Next up, we got SMCY. Pretty good dividend here. $1.02. Yeah, not bad at all on this one. This is following Square. So let's go take a look at SMCY up top here. How much was it again? $1.02. Wow. Okay. So take a look at the distributions over the last 5 months here. $1.27, 63, 69, 96, and $1.19. So $1.02 looking pretty good for sure. Let's take a look at the fund itself. Like I said, I'm not an investor in ETFs that are steadily going downhill. So, over the last month, up 1.77%. Sticking around that $18.46 mark. So a year ago, I mean, it's only down 4% in the last year. That's not bad. And that doesn't take into factor the amount of distributions that it's received in that time. So you're definitely up on your investment if you've invested here in SQY. So you're probably feeling okay about that. So this came out October, $18. Look at that. It's only down 2.64%. That is pretty darn decent. And again, those distributions have been, 7 out of 10. That's pretty good. 7 out of 10. That's pretty good. SQY, eh? Is that on anybody's radar? Let's take a deeper look into that maybe down the road here. Next up, we have, let's go take a look. The last one on the list here, and the biggest one, I think, in YieldMax history, SMCY, $5.35. Holy smokes. Now, just to make us aware, SMCY is one of those funds that is the higher dollar value, the $50 range, right? So this is one of those new funds. That's the higher amount. So this follows Super Microcomputer. And I found it funny or interesting. It's kind of like that PYPL that I've been talking about, following, not PYPL, PLTY, Palantir, and the PLT. Yeah, that's the one. It's kind of like that, where the underlying price is lower than the ETF itself. So it's an interesting strategy, that's for sure. Take a look at the last 6 months of Super Microcomputer Incorporated, down 40%. If you look at this fund here, it just came out here in September the 12th at $50.84. Today, $54.60. That's great. That's a great climb. Now, come tomorrow, it should drop by, what was it again? $5.35. So bringing that overall upward momentum down below its initial share price, right? So, yeah, I mean, if you're an owner of this, $5, I'm guessing you're pretty happy about $5.35. Pretty massive for sure. So that's going to be your SMCY. Hasn't had a distribution yet. But tomorrow is going to be its X date. You can see it only has 5.56 million in net assets so far. So it is basically a brand new little baby here, and coming out into the world with its first distribution. So pretty incredible stuff. So that's going to be your Group D. If you're happy and you know it, let me know in the comments. I know I'm extremely pleased with my MSTY. So what's my plan? What is my plan? Good question. So when's the best time to buy these ETFs. For me, I think it's always the ex-dividend date, or if there's like a huge drop and you really believe in the fund. So tomorrow is the ex-dividend date, and that's what I'm thinking about buying, really. But it really depends on the price of the fund. So my current dollar cost average is $26 and I think 22 cents. And so I always have a hard time buying more if it's above my dollar cost average. But if it's only cents over, then I think that makes sense to purchase it, right? Right now I'm in an accumulation focused fund here. I'm looking to purchase more and more shares. I'm trying to get to $500 a month of MSTY, and this month was an anomaly, right? It was 6 weeks. There's a delayed pay, and also it was the end of the fiscal year for the MSTY crew, so they had to pay out all of their profits. So this won't happen again next month. It won't be $4 again next month. We're probably going to get back down to that $1.50 range, $1.80. Who knows? But it definitely will not be $4 again. So for me, I need to get more shares to be able to get to $500. So let's take a look here at the share price itself of MSTY today. So, right now it's 311. I think I made another video at 311 and I sang that song. Whoa, amber is the color of your energy. You know that song? By 311. So right now the shares are at $30.50. So if we take the $4 drop tomorrow, $4.19, you're looking at 26, around 33, whatever the math on that is. But that's just slightly over my dollar cost average. So I'm pretty okay with purchasing shares tomorrow on the ex-dividend date. Now, just so we're all on the same page, if you buy your shares on the ex-dividend date, you don't qualify for this distribution, but you do qualify for any that come out in the future if you're still a shareholder. Today's distribution, I did a little math here, is going to pay me $552 US. Now I'm looking at 500. I want to get $500 a month Canadian. So that's well above my 500 Canadian. That's probably about 647 Canadian sitting right there. That I'll be paid out on Monday. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to, just from my own bank account, take 642 Canadian or 552 US. I'm going to put it into MSTY, depending if that price drops down to the $26 range tomorrow morning. What about you? Are you buying more? Are you taking that dividend and sitting on a beach drinking a Mai Tai? Are you going out and partying with your newfound success? What are you doing with your dividends tomorrow from Group D? Let us know in the chat if you're excited about the future, if you are not so happy with share price dropping. Tell us how you feel about this. For me, it's buy, because I want to be able to retire as soon as humanly possible. So for me, it's buying into funds that have proven track records, NVIDIA, MSTY, and then from there, we're going to find another one. FEPI, somebody mentioned yesterday, QDTE, XDTE, RDTE, AMZY, could be a good one. But yeah, definite options coming up. But it's probably going to be 4 to 5 months from now before I can buy that third fund. Right now, if you look at my trading account, I posted it yesterday in the video, which I'll link at the end of this video. But I wouldn't recommend what I'm doing. I'm 50% allotted to NVIDIA, and I think I said 36% of my money is in MSTY. You definitely want to diversify, and that's not what I'm doing right now. So I'm looking forward to that third fund to help me diversify. But I think it's advantageous for me to build up those funds to be able to pay for the third fund themselves, and then go from there. But guys, I just wanted to pop on today and say thank you so much for the subscriptions yesterday. I think it was about 75 of you decided to subscribe. So thank you very much for that. Appreciate it. If you can hit the like button on this video, hit the subscribe button. This right here is Health and Wealth. My name is Mike, and I just wanted to say thanks so much for tuning in today. Congratulations again. I hope you have a great night. Bye for now.